Hundreds of residents forced to leave their homes at Heron Pond condominium in Pembroke Pines. This after engineers and city authorities determined it's no longer safe to live in their buildings.
They cite a series of issues from termites and water damage to problems with the design. ABC6's Amy Viteri investigates how we got to this point and allegations against the previous board.
This is so complicated.
Frustration.
How do people sleep at night?
And uncertainty.
It's just kind of up in the air as far as where do you go.
For residents at Heron Pond condominium in Pembroke Pines after they were ordered to leave by the end of August or even sooner.
They said that if there's a storm or if anything happens, we would have to leave earlier.
The city of Pembroke Pines has issued several evacuation orders in about a year.
She's been displaced for almost a year.
Edward Picon's 83-year-old mother, Cecilia, left in September. Since then, he says he's tried to understand how the condo got to this point, but has more questions than answers.
Only thing we were getting was all these email communications back and forth.
In April, the Condo Association asked the court to appoint a receiver to manage the property, alleging the previous board of directors willfully and intentionally mismanaged the association and failed to perform routine, necessary maintenance.
There was no unification within the community itself, because some people were saying one thing, other people were saying other things, so it was really no way of gauging who was telling the truth.
The petition says the prior board was controlled by representatives for a single trust, which owned over a third of the units at Heron Pond, and alleges none of those units were paying monthly fees, hindering repairs. It goes on to say it's believed these individuals may have wanted the property to fall into a state of disrepair so they could buy more units at a discounted cost. According to the petition, a board member known as Peter Patel was the man behind the trust and resigned late last year after several lawsuits were filed against him and the association with similar claims. The petition also alleges Patel's real name is Piyush Varadia. We got in touch with the man who identified himself as Peter Patel. He confirmed his real name is Piyush and Peter is a nickname. He says he owns condos with his relatives at Heron Pond and other communities in South Florida through trusts to operate as rental properties. Piyush didn't want to answer questions on camera, but asked to meet in person to dispute the claims against him. He told us they worked extremely hard to secure permits and try to save as many units as they could, adding he challenges any allegations the board misused funds. When we told him we were recording video outside the meeting, he went back inside. He later sent us this bank wire showing his trust paid more than $350,000 in June, part of the money he says they owed to the association.
There basically was like a lack of maintenance.
Assistant City Manager Michael Stam says the city has been asking for specific reports on conditions at the complex for around 2 years. But he says the association didn't provide all information required to secure permits.
The current reports will show you there was a lot of unpermitted repairs made to the buildings. They put stucco over rotted wood in some situations.
NBC6 Investigates found engineering reports as early as 2021 outlined poor conditions at the property, including termite infestations and cracking exterior walls. According to city records, the permit applications to fix those problems weren't submitted until September of last year, after some units were already vacated.
Those permits were only for balconies, bay windows, and staircases. But we know, based on the reports that we've received from their engineers, that the damages go much further than those elements.
The city is partnering with the county to help relocate people who meet income requirements and can provide documentation, such as a lease agreement. Stam says the city also has some apartments to try to place people, but resources are limited and assistance is not guaranteed. The city has additional information on its website. Amy Viteri, NBC6 News.